and gentlemen, her name is Josey Mahachi, reporting from Germany's international public broadcaster Deutsche Welle. Today I'm here in Birmingham speaking to the one of the fools, the new groom in town. But I took out something yesterday when we were in church. I found that the fool actually ran away from God.
No.
To be in the well.
The priesthood is a vocation. Mm-hmm. It's about a life of service. It's about helping humanity to find God. Mm-hmm. And God is about everything that is beautiful, that's fine, that was created. So yes, finding God is about finding peace, it's about finding love, it's about finding happiness. So my mission was to help people to find that in their everyday lives. So.
Okay, so how long were you in the priesthood?
Not in the priesthood.
Okay.
I was in formation in the seminary, so I was there for 7 years.
Okay, 7 years. You knew that it's about humanity. You knew that it's about serving God. And why did you decide to leave, to stop working for God, and to stop the humanitarian purpose that you had taken you there?
I didn't stop.
Why would that tempted you?
Okay, now the thing is this: when you are very close to God, you tend to have visions. You tend to have prophecies. You tend to have a vision of the future. You're very familiar with the late prophet T.B. Joshua. You were very close friends, so you will know that he sees prophecies. He can see into the future. So if you were me and you could see into the future and see this beautiful woman, will you choose the white girl?
So before we get, I just want to know, you were there in the formation. There are also sisters, beautiful sisters. Every time that you looked at one sister and said, "Hey, what is this I'm doing? Maybe this one."
Nah.
Did you do it?
Nah. Now let me tell you something now, which many of used to. When I went in there, I was let me say naive about that life, but very, very savvy about the world. I knew exactly what I was denying, what I was rejecting to choose the priesthood. I knew exactly what I didn't want to do when I was getting into the priesthood. But what I didn't know is this question you've asked, which it came as a shock to me that it was even possible. Now, call me naive, but I believed that priesthood is a life of sanctity, which it is for many priests that I've encountered. And that because of that and the regulations around it, it would be terrible to even have a priest even conceive of that. It's like, it's like something that I didn't think was even possible. So for me to move from that thinking it wasn't possible to acting it out was almost certainly not possible. So I think that I have not talked about before is that I got very disappointed about while I was in the seminary. Disappointed because some of the things that I wished religion could change, it wasn't changing. Now, when I was in the seminary, I did a thesis, a copy of which is there in brown, where I looked at Karl Marx's Marxist philosophy. Well, this political economy, comparing that with Keynes, and I was trying to look at that in the context of the African political economy. And one of the things that I looked about was exploitation of labor and surplus value. And every institution, including the church, engages in exploitation of labor. I'll just give you one simple example. The Catholic Church, the catechist, in every village in Africa, in every church in Africa, the catechist is the poorest person. He rides a bicycle.
And the shoes are dog bites.
Yes, so the catechist, but then the catechist is the one who wakes up at 5 o'clock to ring the bell for the church. He's the one who does the sets of the church, the altar. He's the one who does all the work. But then he's the one who prepares everyone for catechism, for baptism. He does more work in practical terms than the priest. But the priest lives in this flamboyant house, drives a beautiful car, does this and treats some people like they're trash, while the catechists cannot even afford to send their child to a Catholic school.
Okay, now before I let you go, I'm going to ask you this. Did you ever get an erection when you were there?
What's that?
An erection.
I don't know what that is.
My kids are there.
I actually know what that is. So.
Oh, now you know. Then did you know?
No, even now.
There, on those 7 years.
No, maybe you would have to really explain. You know, some of us.
Please, can you speak in your language? So my kids will not hear. No, you speak your language. My kids won't hear. Speak in your language, please.
That's we know. So they are body the mix.
Say whether I could be the star.
Whether I told the
I could. So whether I be the, I don't know. Do Papa, Mama no.
So you should. Yeah, woman do Papa, Mama was as
no, say you want inside there.
No, when you inside the formation.
No, now that's something that I'm proud about, right? No, now that's something I already made a statement. I said I knew what I was denying. I knew what I was denying. Now I wasn't a diocesan priest in a diocesan formation. I was a religious. A religious meant that I went to a novitiate, I went to a postulancy, and went to a novitiate, and I did a profession, which he heard about when Father Jude was talking. That I renewed my profession vow. So I took a vow of poverty, chastity, and obedience. Now, poverty meant that I vowed to live a life of frugality, which is why I got disappointed when I started seeing priests, you know, with forerunners, the biggest cars. That didn't seem. If I want to drive that, I drive that now. So there was one of chastity. Now it is a huge contradiction. I'm not a hypocrite. You cannot take that vow and do. And I'll just give you one example. I was in a place called Omojima, and I worked there. And that place, when I got there, there's a Reverend Sister who is in Ireland, Sister Ohhh Cassie. She called because I was staying at their house to work, and she was like, "Who sent you to my village? It's a dangerous place." I said, "Sister, I'm going to survive." And I faced all the challenges in the world in that place, spiritual challenges, every physical, the ones who were coming to everything that you can think about. And that place I hear is near a place called Isialangwa, where they say they eat human beings. So it's actually really a dangerous place. If I went out and 6 p.m. reached, that sister was always panicking. But I was there. One day I went into the church, and there was like some sort of like a desecration of the church. Things had been burnt in the church, edifices had been burnt, and just that evening I went home. When I wanted to drink water, it was pouring out from. And I realized one side of my face had paralyzed. Yeah. And the Reverend Father who sent me, he asked me, "Do you want me to remove you?" I said, "No, Father. If I remove, then I've run away." And I stood
but
there.
It doesn't stop me from asking my next question.
That question, that answer, that last answer, that means that he stood fast. He did not do that.
I'm just trying to
don't teach me my job. Now,
Yeah.
you were there for 7 years. I understood this answer, but you were there for 7 years. Then you left. How was the first sex?
No one.
Hey, it's record.
No, I'm also recording her question.
How was the first sex after? Child.
I can't even remember.
That is the first one.
Yes.
That's a very
And to conclude this discussion.
Oh yeah, there are two journalists here.
I'm not the reason why she left priesthood.
Yeah.
I'm not the reason why he's not.
Immediate reason.
I'm not the reason.
You are a vision.
Oh, you are the reason. You did go back someone from working for God.
I'm still working from God. No, I'm still working for God. Every day I see her, I just see the glory of God.
Amen.
I see, you know, when you see her, you see that is the amazing creative abilities of God. You know there is a God when you see how God created her.
Amen.
She's preaching. Yes, every morning, every evening, every afternoon. She's preaching.
Someone is a testimony. Some pastors and reverend fathers don't preach the way she preaches. Just look at what happened yesterday. Come on, many people were converted. You want to come to the Catholic Church because of her.
I want to go to Finland because of